Hey everyone, and welcome back to Community Builds. I have 7 creations this week, and they're pretty good from what it looks like so far, so let's get into it. First is a 5-seat Baja Temp by Suprafan, and it looks like it's going to be basically the start of a Baja truck. Of course I'm going to be excited for that. It has It's like a normal A-arm in the front, bump stops. Back, we have a three-link with trailing arm. A simple three-link, which is good. And then, again, bump stops and a sway bar. I love how so many people are using sway bars now, even on just the little quick stuff. I like the hood. That looks good like that. If we were to use Lord Payne's engine mod, we could probably work it in there to fit nicely. That would look really good. Also, I made a new map, or loaded a new map, I should say, for community builds, which now has water. So any boats from here on out, even if you've sent a boat already, if you would like to send it in, I will check it again. This, so far, handles really, really good. It stays a little flat while it's in the air, even letting off, even letting off the throttle. One thing I'm not sure if anyone notices, but with vehicles in this, or in really any game, when I'm in the air, I let off the throttle. Mainly because it helps save the drivetrain, but it allows the front of the vehicle to come down and land a little bit better, a bit flatter. And if you hit the throttle, the vehicle should rotate back a tiny bit. But either way, the only issue with this is it doesn't rotate in midair. That's all I'm going to complain about. But for being a temp and like I said, no. As I was saying, for being something that I'm guessing is still in the process of being made, this is great. One thing I do recommend also is having the front bump stop separate, like the rear is, because it'll be fine when you're hitting one bump, but it'll be a different rate when you're landing with both wheels at once. It works really well. It's just, I guess it would kind of work like a sway bar in a way, but either way, they keep it more stable this way. Yeah. Oh well. It works really well. I like it. Oh crap. It just needs a little bit of work for spring glitch. Yeah. It's just a little bit of spring glitch keeping it from rotating. Ooh, yeah. Could use a bearing up here. This bearing I would put here instead. And then back seems okay. So yeah, I'd just move this bearing, maybe, so it can rotate a bit better. But I could be wrong. Either way, awesome truck. I look forward to seeing an updated version of this. Some more detail, maybe tuned a little bit more. Yeah, that is that. Okay, yeah, notice. Next is a modded Leafspring. A modded Leafspring pickup truck by Dusty Red. Do an old boxy pickup, rear leaf springs, shocks, and working turn signals using my signal module. No hood, Doors or tailgate. Okay, so it's just a solid body. And it is my signal module. You should use the one Brent Batch made, not mine. I love how you're using mine, and I really appreciate it, and it makes me excited, but the one Brent made is much, much better. Just, it has less gates and whatnot, so it's a lot less laggy. Excuse me. Okay, so this is a really nice looking dually. I've been waiting for a good looking dually like this, and I actually really like it. It's a little slow. It's all torque, it looks like. Suspension works really well. With the lights. It's the headlights. Left signal. And... Ooh. Oh, there we go. Okay. Right one. Yep, awesome. I'm glad. This is awesome. Backup lights, or brake lights. They should turn off with S. But, I'm not going to complain about that. Oh, it's only rear-wheel drive. Oops. Crap. I think I'm stuck. Uh-oh. Time to break the roof. No. Like it. So yeah, it has a normal independent A-arm in the front. Okay, you just did a big little bit of glitch welding to get it to fit well. I like that. This goes on the other side to fit. I like seeing how people make things fit. Because that's always been my issue. I can make things work, but I can't make them fit or look good. And like, this looks way better than my Leafsprings do. So much smaller and cleaner. Go. I think it needs a trailer. Some kind of cool trailer. But since it's a dually, a gooseneck trailer would be really cool. And since you're using that engine, you could probably up the speed a tiny bit. A tiny bit less torque, I don't know. Just my preference. Because it acts like the electric motor, so it's hard to do little movements like this. But if you can get that sorted out, that'd be great. I like this thing. If you've got a little town you're working on and need like a farm trucks or something that, or like just some kind of heavier duty truck to help fill in atmosphere, like it's an actual working city, I think this is a great addition. Any scrap city needs this, I think. I'd definitely use it if I had a scrap city going, which I've been wanting to. But next is Truck 3 by Mr. T. Mr. T has been sending in some neat little buggies. I'm quite happy to see a truck finally. Not finally, but like, it's nice to see something with a body. And it looks good. Interesting suspension though, like on the front. Just all the bearings, it's really weird. The way you went about doing this was really weird. Like, you could have put your buggy suspension on this and had like A-arms and stuff, and you did that. That's so weird. Alright, let's take it for a spin. Headlights. That's it. Yeah. I remember when I used to build like this. I miss those days. That would be really strong steering. Like, when you're off-roading or crawling or something, nothing would make the wheels turn when you don't want them to. Like that. It just stayed straight. Whereas if it was on the back with just steering, it'd probably have flopped around a little bit. So it's a very strong way to do the steering. It's just kind of overkill. I like this truck though. It handles really good. It's a decent speed. And for an off-road vehicle, this would be a lot of fun to drive. Like in survival, put a little, you could hang your fuel tank and stuff under it. Put a chest in the back, maybe tow a trailer for like some logs or something. And this would be fun. This would be great on single player. Or not single player, but survival. And with the suspension, it'd work perfect because survival doesn't like detailed suspension, I'll say. It kind of falls apart. It's awesome. That's actually a lot of fun to drive. Be perfect on survival. Absolutely perfect. Restricts. But since there isn't much detail or really much to go over, I am going to move on. At least it has a proper truck profile. My vehicles don't even really have proper profiles there like this. Next is a Paris-Dakar desert rally car. The Dakar rally is awesome. I don't know much about it, but I know it's through the desert, at least partially. And they have ATVs, dirt bikes, different types of cars like this, massive, like, man, fucking, excuse my language. Huh. Wow, I'll bleep that out. But massive, like, huge trucks. It's awesome. Um, but either way, this is made by TNs. It features realistic independent front, double wishbone, realistic solid rear with a sway bar, and working brake light. Dude, this looks really good. So short. Yep. Good 3-link. Sway bar right there. Trailing arm. And the way I would normally do my old independent. So, I like looking at this. This just looks really cool. I don't even really know what to say. It just looks really cool. Let's see how it handles. That's the important part. In my opinion, it doesn't matter how cool a vehicle looks. If it isn't good for driving, it is useless. And this handles really well. Bit understeery, but it doesn't roll. It does everything I want it to. It handles in the air how I'd expect. Wonder if it'll make this jump. This is great. Ah, it would have if I didn't hit that. Ah, okay. I'm gonna try going over these things here. And that will give a good idea of how it handles. This is so cool. Decent little interior. Okay. We've got the air vents on top. The intakes for the engine. Great. That is great. Ah, I can't drive right now. Here, let's try this again. Back here. Turn around. There we go. It should just kind of skim along the top. And that is not skimming along the top. So the suspension is a little firm, I would say, but This handle's really good. Like if you just okay, it wasn't before. I was gonna say if you just turn, it doesn't really roll, but it did that time. Looks like it's smiling. It is happy to be racing. Yeah, if you if you let off to turn like you should, it handles amazing. Ooh, big wheelie. This is awesome. If you're into like Baja and whatnot, I highly recommend you at least give this a try. I don't think you'll be disappointed. It's fun and it looks good. It's an awesome looking little bug. Is there anything else? Nope. Okay. Just it looks so cool. This suspension's a little too stiff. Okay. Next is a realistic drive Gavril D series by Stealthy Green. D series is from BeamNG Drive. Yep. Sit there. Means there's no seats. So as usual, turn on the green one under the steering wheel. Buttons on the wheel. Reverse dark gray on the center console. Okay. So what this person does, and I love what they do, is they make vehicles in this that you don't drive with the driver's. It's the normal driver's seat, the wheel and whatnot. But there's no seat. Like, you can't sit. This is the extent of sitting. And so what you do instead, is push that little one down there, and it starts it. Could be a fan. Not on this one. But, special part, this. Just use the buttons. Drive around instead, how it should be. You actually use the proper controls. And sometimes it is so difficult to drive these, but they are making them so well. When this first was an idea, they were so hard to drive, but now, come on, you can do it. There we go. And now they're just such a piece of cake and so much fun. Get out, take a look. Ah, it's lagging. Why is it lagging? Why? I don't know. That is awesome. I love these things. You can open the tailgate. Both doors. There's not really any need to open the hood. Yeah. I'm not going to drive it back down just because they take so long to drive, but it is so much fun to just sit and play with. I'll drive it back over there. I just didn't feel like trying to get it turned around and all that. I usually do, but hold on. Alright. I don't know what that one does. Okay, gray on the center console right there. Alright, that's to back up. Oops. No. That's why you wear your seatbelt, so you don't go out the windshield. And then those ones on the dash are like the lights. Turns. So let's just go back over there. And I shall move on to the next one. That's awesome. These are just so much fun. It's not much to look at on this one, but it's so much fun to drive. I was wondering what that bolt was, but that's probably all that's holding the spring in place. Literally. Okay. The next one. Oh, and what I mean about that is this is glitch welded. The spring is in this block connected to bolt. Okay, okay. So the next one is the Mega Spud Sled by Ripsaw711. Doesn't have a description, but I can only assume this is going to be crazy, let's say. Okay, so literally it's spring glitch for steering, and then spuds to go. Yep. Oh my. Really? This is insane. It's like a little hovercraft that would destroy anything behind you. Oops. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep going. Wonder what it looks like. Oh jeez. Come on. There we go. Okay. I'll stop holding the button now and actually try and get around properly. This is fun. This is so weird. What made you think of doing this? Stop flipping. You slide so weirdly on those. On the drill bits? That is really weird. I want to make a hovercraft. Maybe I'll do a thing and see who can make the coolest hovercraft, because this is really cool. This is just fun. I'd like to see a race where you have like 4 people at least racing these, and it's a normal like circuit race or point to point or whatever, circuit or sprint, but you're racing with these. So if you go directly behind someone, like even if you do this, you're gonna push the person behind you back. So it's gonna take a bit of like, I don't know, extra planning on skill on like passing people and whatnot. I don't know. And then if you make it out of certain parts that are like breakable, you have to be really careful. This could be made into so much fun. That's awesome. That is such a cool idea. I don't know what else to say about it, so moving on, but that is an awesome idea. And this could be turned into such a fun little game mode. But last but not least, we have the Smashies trophy truck, but with a body this time. Last week, I think it was. Where'd it go? I'm not sure where it went, but here we go, right here. This one. So, a little while ago, we were sent Das Smashies trophy truck. And I absolutely loved the ducks on the back. It's hilarious. So now they've sent in the one, the body. And this looks really, really good with the body. It's a little laggy, but just wow. It's a bit of a collision issue with the front end. We've even got the exhaust just kind of poking out there. This looks really good. I'd like to know how people manage to get all these like angles and stuff with the plates. I can never get them to fit properly. They just don't turn in the right spot. If you look at mine, my latest trophy truck, I was trying to do fenders like this. It just wouldn't. It looks really good. I like how this little bit here is shiny. Just gives a extra little bit of detail. Just catches the eye. Hop in. Yeah, this looks awesome. Assuming that's still just the lights. Yep. It's going to handle different now, too. It has a lot more weight on it. So I'm kind of curious. Holy. All the suspension travel. This handles so good. Springs you've been working on. It's tucked in there doing their work. This looks awesome. I need to build a new truck that uses them. No. Let's go over there and come back like before. And she'll finish up. For those of you that didn't see the other episode with this truck, it is a Baja truck that has an independent front A-arm, a 3-link rear, but the special thing is just how detailed and good it looks. That's what gets me, and how well it handles. Like, if these were equal length apart, that would have handled it amazingly. Slide. This is awesome. I'd like to see it race around here from sitting up there. That looks so cool. But for now, oh yeah, and it's got ducks on the back that still turn. That's awesome. Ooh, this is deep donuts. I find it kind of rare for vehicles in this to do proper donuts. They either don't, they like flip. It almost does. This is awesome. It's just the way you did the pipes and whatnot. It looks so good. I'm just curious for what that is. Yeah. This looks so good. But it is time to end the video. So I will load everything up really quick. Do the outro. Just a moment. Okay, and that is it for this week's community builds. It is out maybe a day late unless I get it up today still, but I really enjoyed this one. This episode, I got to see some progress. I consider Mr. T's truck this week a little bit of progress because the last few things that you've sent in were just little, like, two buggies that were just a square frame with some A-arms on it. And now you've sent in like a full-on truck. Awesome. But I really like just the varying types of building style and skill levels. And you can tell the different skill levels and styles, but everyone is still doing the same thing, still appreciating everyone's builds and helping each other out. Whatnot. I love it. So I cannot wait to see what comes up next. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.